So guys, let's have a little chat about this whole Cinch BCA We Buy Any Cars situation. Now, I know my friend Jason's done a video on it recently and he makes a lot of good points about it, and it's very true. They have monopolised it in terms of being both the company that buys second-hand cars off the public, puts them into auction, well, takes them potentially to auction, but then retains the best ones for themselves to sell via Cinch, and then puts the rest through auction. Yes, I was aware of this. I've had loads of messages about it. Yes, I was aware of this, and it definitely impacts the independent dealers, but it really does only impact those that are doing the, let's say, more expensive cars than mine, and those that are taking lots of part exchanges in. I do very, very little part exchanges. Now, firstly, let's just cover it. I know a lot of people have been messaging out genuine concern for me, how it might affect me, how it might damage my business, and a big thanks to those people. I appreciate your concerns. There have been a few that are being dicks about it, to be perfectly frank, saying that everything I'm selling must be utter crap because Cinch has turned it down. Just to recap, in case I'm jumping the gun slightly here, BCA, British Car Auctions, own We Buy Any Car. For those of you that didn't know and don't know what I'm talking about. British Car Auctions also owns Cinch, the online retailer that will sell you a car directly and deliver it to your door. So we have a situation by, hello Tom, old friend from work, from the old corporate days. Yeah, so we have a situation where British Car Auctions are encouraging the public to bring their cars to them and sell them to them via We Buy Any Car, and they offer good prices. They offer actually quite strong prices for the cars. Those cars then go to BCA, who can in turn cherry pick the ones they want to sell via Cinch directly back to the public again, who potentially want to part exchange their car with Cinch, and it then in turn goes through the circle again. So does this cut out cars from the independent network? Well, it does. If Cinch are picking the best ones, then it can affect the dealers doing them. But what you've got to bear in mind with my side of the business is I do cars that are £3,000 and below. Sometimes I do 4 and 5 grand, but most of them are £3,000 and below. Most of them are over 10 years old. Cinch aren't selling 10-year-old cars to the public. Okay, so when people are messaging me telling me, well, all the stuff I've got must be the crap because Cinch don't want it. Cinch don't want any cars over 5 years old. Cinch aren't selling that to that market. I'm selling to a completely different market. When somebody goes to Cinch and buys a 4-year-old Mondeo, that isn't taking business from me, because I don't sell 3-year-old Mondeos. I sell 10-year-old cars. Cinch don't want to get involved in that at all. There's no way they could support the kind of warranty claims you get from cars like I'm selling, and there's no way they could afford to market and sell cars at that price point. So it isn't impacting me like that. So how is it, from that side of things, I'm not losing sales through Cinch. When people take their cars to We Buy Any Car and sell them to We Buy Any Car, that's not really affecting me either, because I aren't getting part exchanges. The types of cars I'm doing, the value I'm getting, I don't really ever get part exchanges. So I'm not missing out on them bringing the cars to me to try and steal them at a cheap price from the customer with a low part exchange bid, because people aren't bringing me part exchanges. So I'm not being affected by that. Am I being affected by Cinch putting crap into the auctions? Well, not really, because all the stuff, like I say, that's over sort of 5 years old was going to auction anyway. It was going to auction from the main dealers into the auctions. It was going from everybody into the auctions, because most people don't want to trade that kind of stuff. And as we know, most of them have problems anyway. That's why I end up fixing most stuff. So are they offloading more crap on me than they were before? No, because they're not cherry picking from the 10-year-old stock and saying we'll keep that and retail that ourselves. They don't retail stuff that old. I hope this is making sense. So there's then the argument, well, they're driving up the prices for you, James, because they're buying them through We Buy Any Car and offering high prices at We Buy Any Car. So when they then come to auction to you, you're having to pay a premium from. Nope. I pay what I want to pay for the cars. I bid what I think I can bid on them and make money, and as you see from my videos, I make money on the cars. So I bid what I'm happy to bid. I don't really have a live bid, I just bid there and then, put my maximum price in, and the market is sustaining it, because yes, used car prices might be high for the public at the moment, but they're high for all of the public across all of the dealers. So I might be paying more for the cars now than I might have been paying for them a year or two ago, but public are willing to pay more for the cars than they were a year or two ago. So again, the fact that We Buy Any Car are buying cars in at a higher price point and then putting them through BCA because they don't want to sell cars over 5 years old, again, it's not really harming me, because the price point, I bid what I'm prepared to pay for the cars, and if that's enough, I win them, and I do it at a price point where I know I can make money on the cars. So again, it's not affecting me. So again, just to recap, I know a lot of people messaged me out of concern for my business, thinking it was going to hammer me, but then there were the others that were messaging me saying, well, everything you've got must be crap because Cinch don't want it. Just go and look at their website, people. They aren't selling the cars I'm selling. You know, again, Jason makes really good points on his video, explaining how this setup works and how it can impact dealers. And definitely, if I was starting to look to go to stuff, you know, 5 years and younger, I'd be worried about it, because I would know that, you know, again, as Cinch get bigger and bigger and bigger, and they seem to be growing, they would be cherry picking the best of the stock. So yeah, I guess I would be worried about it, but I can't really ever see them moving. You know, as we discussed the other day, we had a main dealer locally selling a Fiat, and I was selling a Fiat, and the Fiat they were selling was 2015, 2014. They wouldn't even give a warranty on it, guys. That's how much they don't want to get involved in the over 5-year-old business. They didn't want to put a warranty on it. They just want cars they can polish and stick out the front and very rarely have a claim on, which obviously we all want, but my market isn't that market. So as regards, am I concerned about Cinch? Am I concerned about We Buy Any Car? Does it mean I've got worse stock? Actually, what it could do is bring me more stock, because if people are taking their cars to We Buy Any Car and they're going through a BCA car auction, the ones that, again, I stress again, they're over 5 years old, if a vast majority of them are ending up in BCA, I've got a bigger choice of cars to pick from. If they were being part exchanged with dealers before, and they were able to then retail them on themselves, those that do more of a mix of stock, or if they were just selling them purely to their long-standing relationships with smaller traders, then I would never get a chance to see these cars. They would never come up to the auction. So in my understanding of it, and I'm sure some of you will try and tell me I'm wrong, my understanding of it is I'm actually going to have a wider range of stock the bigger We Buy Any Car get and the bigger Cinch get, because again, Cinch is going to be taking cars, I think, I do understand they take part exchange, they'll be taking cars that are over 5 years old that don't want anything to do with, and putting them straight into the BCA auction. So I really can't see how it's going to hurt me. I can totally understand how it can hurt other people, and especially if you wanted to move, you know, into that area of business, yes. But the reality of life is, and I've experienced this through my corporate days, is, you know, things will change. I can guarantee you things will change. Your industry will change. If you think you've got it sewn up, you will find someone will come in and disturb the market and do something different. And you've just got to be willing to adapt and change to it as well. And sometimes you can't. Sometimes industries die out. Again, that's just unfortunately a reality of life. You've got to be prepared to, again, make a change, and it might be into something completely different. It may well be that people end up buying all cars online. It may well be that the way things go with taxation of petrol cars and electric cars, that nobody is buying at my end of the market, and leases become so cheap that everyone has a lease car new, and cars over 5 years old are binned off the road because they're too polluting and too damaging. I think there's a long way off that happening yet, but I shouldn't write it off. So yeah, I mean, the only thing, like I say, I know in business from my experience you can guarantee is that there will be changes in your industry. There will be people that come and disturb the market, and you know, as Jason says in his video, fair play to BCA thinking of working both ends of the market. You can't blame them for it. Again, like I say, I just don't see how it affects me. So those dickheads out there, no disrespect, I know I'm not normally using any language, but those dickheads out there messaging me, telling me that everything I'm selling is crap because Cinch are getting the cream of the crop. Use your bloody head. Go and look at their site, for God's sake. They're not selling the cars I'm selling. And also watch one of my videos. Yes, I may be getting cars with bad clutches, I may be getting cars with bad paintwork, I may be getting cars with problems, but watch my videos. I'm fixing them and they're going out the door sorted. So just use some blooming common sense. Go and look at their website and realise that it isn't really impacting me. That'll be the end of the video. Sorry for the little rant, but again, thanks to those of you that I know just had a genuine concern for me and my business. And again, big shout out to Jason for his video, because I know a lot of you weren't aware of it, and I know a lot of you found it very interesting. And like I say, I'm not taking away any of his points at all. He makes very good points for the industry, and it will kill independent dealers that want to do the higher quality cars if they carry on growing at the rate they are. But yeah, I think I've covered my points now. We'll get back to some painting, some rattle canning, some fixing. My arms are all scarred up today from more flipping work in tight spaces, and I shall cover a bit more of that in my next videos. Thanks as always for watching, everyone. Really do appreciate it. Really appreciate all the comments and the feedback. There might be some news on my unit. I've had to put forward a proposal for getting access to even have a viewing of a unit because I'm in the car trade. The landlord was very concerned that I didn't have a viable business or a genuine business or one with a good reputation. I was some kind of dodgy startup. So I had to put forward a detailed proposal. Thankfully my old corporate days kicked in there and I was able to put something together that has now afforded me the opportunity to go and see the property, but I'm at I'm waiting on the landlord giving me the date he wants to meet me out there at the moment. But fingers crossed on that. It could be the game changer we're looking for. But again, you know, it could be a dead end, and I just have to keep on looking. So thanks for all your positive vibes out there about me getting my own unit as well. So yeah, I shall catch you again soon. Cheers, guys.